Well, good afternoon or evening.
Good evening to you, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Looking forward to another fantastic show tonight.
So, well, you've got a month of touring in front of you. How do you prepare mentally and physically for something like this?
Well, generally speaking, we all keep ourselves in good shape. You know, it's not a quick preparation or a cram for an exam. I mean, it's a lifestyle that you wake up, you eat healthy, you take care of your body, and you do what you do. You know, like anyone would be prepared to do anything that they would need to do in life. Yeah, I feel great. I'm again looking forward to an amazing run of shows. We got some good, very brutal bands on the bill with us, and yeah.
So your latest album, it's been quite controversial.
Mm-hmm.
It's been released a while now. So looking back on it, how would you reflect on the album itself and the reception that it's had?
I still think it's a great record, and I stand by that. And other people just need to, they'll figure it out. A lot of them actually have, that's also a good thing.
So, the latest album it incorporates more kind of industrial electronic elements into
the music. It does have some elements like that, yeah.
How willing were the other band members to sort of change Morbid Angel in this direction?
Well, it's not a question of changing. I just think it's, we've always pulled from different sources, and we've always, sort of decided in the moment in a very artistic fashion what it was that we were going to do. So I think it's a question of pulling anything. There was some very interesting ideas on the table, and we all worked hard to bring those ideas to fruition.
Before it was released, how did you think that it would go over to, especially the older Morbid Angel fans?
There's not that much thought into things. We're artists, and we just sort of do what we do. We do stuff that feels interesting, and that's what we do. That's our responsibility is more to that than it is to sort of test the winds and see what should we do and ask, get a panel of experts up there to tell. I mean, that's just we've never been that band.
So, well, aside from the reviews and all of that kind of stuff, the scrutiny that the band has had, is that something that you've enjoyed, or?
It's part of the territory.
It's like the attention.
Well, but again, it's part of the territory. I mean, when you put yourself, when you stand up and you raise your hand, then you're going to have, people that are going to be swayed by that. They're going to have perhaps some commentary or an opinion, and in many different directions. And good. I'm glad that people think about things. I'm glad that they are, that they take the time to form an opinion. I would always. That's all. That's part of the message of the band, is to think for yourself, and has been since day one. So, good.
So, you've got Tim Young drumming in the band now.
That's correct.
Is he a permanent position in the band now, or?
Well, permanent is an interesting word. When we got Tim to do this record, everybody knows what the story is on that. It was to do the record and to do the subsequent touring for the record. So that's what I'm prepared to discuss this evening. And Tim is he's a very capable drummer, very talented fellow. He's a good friend, and I feel very pleased that his schedule worked out such that he could do this, because we're having a good time.
Mm-hmm. While you weren't in the band, did you keep track of Morbid Angel and the albums that they were putting out?
Of course.
What did you think to those?
Well, I mean, listen, Trey is a very gifted guitar player. He always has been, and there's some great material on there. In fact, we've been working over the past few months, working on what sort of material that we can add, what we can take from that period of time and add to the set. I mean, our set is already too long, but I keep getting told that every night. So it's just like, what do you replace in order to put in, these other things? But yeah, great material.
Have you ever thought about or wanted to do any of the more industrial and colourful songs from the new album live?
Yes, and we do have plans to do that. The only thing is that sort of takes a whole nother level of production. It takes more percussion. It takes more going on with the drums, and we're not able to get it together for this particular run.
There was 8 years between Heretic and this new album. What was happening in this gap?
Well, an awful lot of touring, that's for sure. And after that, well, there was the touring front that was done in support of the Heretic record, which I was not a part of. And then when we all did get together and do touring, that seemed like it was in nonstop for several years. I mean, there was constantly a call for that. So it took us a while to get at a point where we're saying, okay, well, it is time that we do a new record. And then, we had the challenges with Pete, and there was sort of, there was a period of time where, we were finding our navigation, our coordinates, and here we are today.
So, looking forward to next year then, you are releasing a remix album. What can you tell us about that?
Oh, I can tell you that you'll hear all kinds of commentary about it.
Will it be old songs or just new songs? Or?
It's new tracks, but now we didn't govern it at all. Okay. There's no governance on our part whatsoever. We selected a number of artists that we would like to have something done. The label selected a number of artists that they would like to have something done. It was up to those artists to choose which song they wanted to work on and what they were going to do with it. We had absolutely nothing to do with anything other than here's our work. Do what thou wilt. Mm-hmm. So it's a very bohemian, very artistic approach.
In the future, then, if we can look even further, will Morbid Angel stay in the same vein as the last album, or will it develop in a different way in the future?
I've never given away where we are, what we're doing. We do what we do, and then that's our work. And our work will be looked up and down and scrutinized, and this commentary here and this commentary there, and some people will laugh, some people will cry, some people will, there's a million things that'll happen, and that's what happens when we do what we do. It's never been any different, and that's who we are.
So you're also part of Terroriser. Could you tell us something about what will be happening with them next year?
Well, it is true that we have a new record out, and I'm hesitant to speak much more about it right now because I've been asked not to. It's not that I don't want to, but it's very exciting indeed. I think people are going to be very pleased about it.
Okay then. Well, thank you very much. Do you have any last words for the people on the internet?
The people on the internet. You pesky people on the internet. Come out and see a show.
Thank you very much.
Sure.